Well, good morning. I was going to start this an hour ago, but I got a telephone call and got set back a little bit. But here it goes. Confusion about collateral accounts and world trusts. Let me begin straight away by saying that I am as confused about the subject of the collateral accounts and world trusts as many of you might be. I wish I knew the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Yet that's simply not my reality, or anyone else's, I suspect. I knew there were several world trusts in existence, but until I heard MelVe's recent interview, I hadn't thought much about there being more than one collateral account. That's why I tended to dismiss those, like Karen Hudes, who claimed anyone other than Mr. Sugih was the lawful signatory on the only collateral account I knew about. Perhaps there is, I missed a couple of letters in there. Perhaps there is a lawful trustee for each account. Perhaps the lawful trustee for each account is different, and the lawful signatory would have to be the trustee on that account or trust. Perhaps this Wolfgang guy Karen talks about and Adnan Saki that others mention are also lawful signers of other collateral accounts. And I need to correct that, perhaps. All right, that's good. Sorry about that. The truth of the matter is, what triggered this topic today is someone posted a video on my Facebook wall asking for more clarification, and it was about Swiss Indo, and I made a comment. She wanted to know what it was about, and I put, this is showing that Mr. Sugih, Sino, and Swiss Indo have legal right to the global collateral accounts, including those in the name of the white spiritual boy. Legal means within the current system, which of course had committed crimes against humanity through their misguided extortion racket. The kingdom of God, sky, earth, through Swiss Indo, returns the funds to the people of the world, payments 1 through 11. It also reestablishes common law for the entire world, rendering the current court system, which is fraudulent, obsolete. It forecloses on the world's corporate structure using the OPPT filings of 2012 and 2013. It establishes the CVAC system of world governance that ensures the individual sovereignty of every human being on the planet, as well as the sovereignty of each country or ethnic region throughout the world. It is the game changer that will allow the spiritual awakening of humanity to continue without all the impediments created by those who wanted to rule the world rule and control the world with an iron fist. That, of course, implies the bringing down of the current system, repurposing the institutions for good instead of evil, and allowing a smooth and peaceful transition from the old to the new paradigm. There is much more, but this is a brief overview of what it's about. And I didn't even watch all of the video, only the first few minutes of it, actually, when I made that comment. And I, again, was saying that maybe when I wrote that, and that was a few hours ago, when I wrote that, I was thinking that Mr. Sugih still was in charge of all the collateral accounts. But then I've been thinking about it since, and that's maybe not the case. Because one of my friends named Magda posted, I communicated with Adnan Saki here on Facebook. He said the OPPT was not positive and just want to steal. He died on February 28. This was signed on 11/3 or March the 11th. He was the owner of the global collateral accounts. Can anybody explain that to me? Well, I was so pissed at what Magda had posted, adding more to the confusion, that I just deleted the whole thing. I mean, I just deleted it. But I did still have it up on my other computer and was able to actually get my blurb that my response copied and pasted so that which is what I just read to you. But there is an awful lot of confusion about this. Now, as I've been thinking about it, leading up to this today's talk, as I've been thinking about it, I'm wondering if the world trusts and the collateral accounts aren't in essence the exact same thing. That's something that I didn't put together till today. That, hey, the Saint Germain Trust and the collateral account of the white spiritual wonder boy or whatever, these are all different accounts set up. But here's the point that I believe is true. All of them belong to the people. None of them belong to the corporation. In essence, the corporations have been trustees of these accounts, perhaps, and they are responsible for returning the stuff for the people, except they got intoxicated by the wealth and with it the power that the wealth brought them, and they didn't want to let go, so they've been holding on for dear life to the trust accounts, not returning them to the people, not doing what John F. Kennedy and Sukarno wanted to do way back in 1963, of returning these accounts to the people and stopping the corruption of the Federal Reserve and the other central banks. They wanted to put an end to it way back then and release the people's money for the benefit of humanity. It didn't happen. Instead, the New World Order folks, which really were not new, they were a world order, but it was an old, demented world order that, as I said, engaged in an extortion racket and in a human slave trade. They were dealing with human beings, treating us as if we were dead. And if a dead person has no rights, and a dead person's name is all in capital letters on their tombstone. Okay? All capital letters. That's a corporate structure. It's all fraud. The whole world had been fraud. Still is to a large degree. The entire corporate structure is a fraudulent structure. If these funds are fully returned to the benefit of humanity, which I believe is in the process of happening, it's going to be something that changes everything. Now, Mr. Sugih is probably unlike any Wolfgang or any of the other signers. People keep accusing and saying, well, that's the Jesuits, or that's the Illuminati that's doing that with Mr. Sino or Mr. Sugih. That's no good. The OPPT, they want to steal. Well, the OPPT didn't want to steal anything. It was simply legal documentations created by Heather Tucci Giraffe within the current system to foreclose on the current system. And when I first came across that in January 2013, I was elated. I knew this is the foundation for bringing the change that I've wanted to see and that many of us have worked hard for. But then somebody wanted to claim some of the benefits of the One People's Public Trust. And Heather had no way of providing that, or neither she nor the other two trustees, Caleb and I forget the other name. But in any case, they closed the OPPT. They closed it down. But Mr. Sugih picked it up. And he said, this is the legal mechanism for getting this task accomplished of blessing the entire world. He is benevolent, and the people that have met him come away with glowing reports of the type of individual we're talking about here. Now, I don't know this Adnan Saki that Magda mentions. I know today's the first I ever even heard the name, and I don't know how he died on February 28th. Maybe it was in that plane that disappeared. I don't really know. In any case, Wolfgang, except for Karen Hudes, I don't even know who this guy is. I have no clue. Maybe they are, or in the case of Mr. Saki, were lawful signatories on some account that is the people's money, that belongs to the people's wealth, the people's value, put in monetary terms. Maybe they were, and maybe there are others that I don't even know about. And some have said that what Mr. Sugih, the white spiritual boy account that he's releasing with payments 1 through 11 on, maybe they're not even connected to the Saint Germain Trust. Maybe that's something totally, totally different. What I'm sharing with you is the level of confusion. For this purpose, nobody knows the whole truth. Nobody has it all figured out yet. It's unfolding. It's a process. Now, when you think you know that you're right, you have a tendency, I have it myself, to discount and throw away everyone else's story. Well, this contradicts my story, so it can't be right. I don't want to pay attention to that. What if all of them have an element of truth in them? What if all of them have something that may not be totally true? Probably that's the reality. There's probably a mix, because everything in this time of transition is sort of mixed up and thrown together. And we have the responsibility as human beings to try to sort it out, to use our discernment to the best of our ability, and to figure out what resonates most with us. Now, why am I involved in all of this? What do I want out of it? I want to be left alone, quite honestly. I want to be able to live my life in peace, whatever years I have left, in peace, without being hounded by a corrupt system that is not based on truth and is not based on any kind of law that the maxims of law represent. It is a fraudulent system. It is a corrupt system. It is a system that damages people, that hurts people, that damages life, that damages the planet, that damages everything. It's a psychopathic, sociopathic system. I want to bring an end to that and do whatever I can to do that. That's what's in it for me. I don't care about titles. I don't care about having a lot of money. I don't care about a lot of things. When I had a conversation with people that were in Cirebon, including many of the delegates that are over there right now, that was just night before last. I didn't know till like 9 o'clock or somewhere around 9 o'clock in the evening that it was even going to happen. And it's why I was still up at midnight, because I had just finished a half an hour earlier with this conference call that we did first on Skype and then on Zoom. And they asked me, what else do you want to know? And I didn't even think about it till afterwards. I didn't ask about money. I didn't ask about title. I didn't even ask about immunity papers, I don't believe, if they came up or not. But the immunity papers are really, really important to me, because it's a remedy to get the crappy courts off my back. That's what I want. But what I wanted is, what can I do to help? What can I do to help make this happen? I want to bring remedy to the world so that people don't have to learn a different language or play a sick game in order to get real justice based on truth and based on real law. And under real law, I had somebody, I actually blocked him. He's been a friend for a long time on YouTube. And he emailed me earlier today and made a comment or something like that, that derivatives are phony, debt is real. Well, he's 50% right. Debt is a fraud. All commercial debt is a fraud because the entire monetary system is a fraud. And he's made other comments. Learn the truth about banking. Talk to a real banker. Learn the truth. Real bankers are involved in the most corrupt industry on the planet. And if you don't like it, sir, well, I've blocked you. You can't even comment anymore. And I've been blocking more people lately because these people that think they have all the answers are just throwing out their, the more I see what other people are doing, the more I say, I can't be like that. I can't pretend that I know all the answers because I have to admit to myself, I don't. I don't have all the answers. This world is convoluted. It is really screwed up. And everything is inside out and upside down and backwards. Everything is something other than what we've been told. And the more I investigate, the more I learn, the more things that come across my path, the more I realize how little I actually know for sure. How little truth I actually have that I'm confident in. All that I can do is base things on what resonates most with me. Now, in listening to Aristo yesterday and many times, he doesn't believe, and I'm convinced that he doesn't believe that there are any global solutions or any extraterrestrial help that would liberate humanity. I get, maybe I'm wrong, but I get the feeling that that's where Aristo is, but he's very diplomatic in how he presents it. In any case, I don't know how things are going to unfold. It's a process. And it's a process that I have no choice but to either trust that the process is going to continue and it's going to come out good, or I have to throw in the towel and say it's useless. Now, of course, the elite, the people that want to control the whole world, they would love nothing better than for people like me to throw in the towel and give up. That's part of why all the fear-mongering that goes on exists. That's why all of the chemtrails and all of the genetic modification of our food and our animals. That's why all the poisoning of our water system and the fluoridation of our water system. That's why all of these things exist. Why the electromagnetic poisoning of the atmosphere itself is occurring, just with the radiation, or not the radiation, but the electromagnetic frequencies that are dissonant to the human frequency, to create chaos within us. And that chaos is real. It's real in the experiential sense. It's what humanity is facing right now together. And releasing of these collateral accounts and world trust funds to the people is what has the capability of totally transforming everything and liberating us to really be free so that we can evolve in a more natural way, stopping the chemtrails, stopping the GMO modification, stopping the fluoridation and poisoning of our water, stopping the EMF frequencies and the weaponization of space and all of these other things, stopping that crap. That's what's in it for me. That's my goal, to establish on Earth a world that works for everyone based on real justice, based on truth and law, which leads to prosperity, which leads to peace. That's what's in it for me. That's my goal. That's what I'm all about. And I'll continue to explore. I will continue to look. I will react. Sometimes I will respond other times, because I'm doing my best to become the best that I can be and to help others do the same thing, because I want each of you to become the best you can be for you. And when we're all the best we can be, the world will be a better world for everyone. Thank you for listening. Namaste.